It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings. You can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up to the minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
Adversaries come in many forms, but you will be victorious when you realize that worship is warfare.
Adversaries are necessary because without them, you never really discover your purpose.
We've accepted what somebody told us we were in our past. So our past is sabotaging our ability to hear instruction.
We are not much unlike a battery. The negative is the thing that's needed to produce the power.
I empowered you to overcome everything you've overcome up to this present moment. I fixed you for what's going to happen after this. You were in the mind of God long before you were ever born.
You are not alone in your battle. God has your back because worship is warfare. Put these 4 messages in your arsenal today on CD or DVD. Equip yourself by visiting our website or by calling 1-800-591-8480.
Welcome to Onpointe, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. David G. Evans 1 on any smart device. So glad you're joining us today. Our phone to call-in numbers are 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-74-EVANS. Onpointe is all about seeing everything from a kingdom point of view, from a scriptural point of view. Where is God in everything that we're enduring today, going through, whether it's political, whether it's athletic, all the issues of the day, discussed in a very balanced way, we hope, open. We love varying voices. Come on and just in the right spirit, we can agree and disagree at the same time. Of course, joining me is our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas Smith. Hey, man, how you doing?
How you doing, sir?
You all right? So
Yes,
you got
sir.
your coffee working this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once a week. What used to be these
Yeah.
kids, like once a day.
Yeah. Yeah, you drinking it more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been and I never had any stock in Dunkin' Donuts, but I need to get some.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Man, I'm getting iced cappuccino every day, and not because I like it.
Yeah, I understand.
Man, I never needed that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you can give us a call this morning. A lot going on in the world, a lot going on in our nation, a lot going on in the faith, and we're going to touch on all of that before this hour has ended. 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-74-EVANS. Now, we want to tell you right from the top of the program, probably the greatest and last remaining 6-night, 5-day convocation. It's going to happen in just a little about a month, I guess, about 4 weeks. Power of God 2019, Year of the Open Door. Is that what it is this year?
Yep.
Year of the Open Door. We've got an incredible week planned for you. It begins Sunday the 9th. Worship service begins at 7:30 that night. That Monday morning, our continental breakfasts and our schools of excellence open. Now, the schools of excellence are focused on pastors, assistant pastors, ministers, lay people, men and women, and creative and performing arts. So there will be schools of excellence open for pastors and all you need to know about the basics as well as advanced pastoral ministry, all the social media stuff, all the technology stuff, as well as the thing that really makes the church push and go, those scriptural and spiritual things, preaching and deliverance ministries and how to work in the spirit and just different subjects that will benefit you. Now, it is not a theoretical convocation. All the classes that we're going to teach you, you can immediately go back to your churches and use the material that we're going to teach you during that week. I have the privilege of teaching a lot of the pastor's tracks, so we want you to come up. Pastor Nick oversees that assistant pastor's track in a marvelous way. Our fine dance ministry, we got creative fine arts teachers that are going to really take your, hopefully help you, encourage you to the next dimension in your vision, wherever that is. 10 people can come for $350. Pastor, I think it's $350, or is it $395? $395. Pastor and 9 of your people can come for $395. That gets you registration, VIP seating, all the worship services. I mean, it's really wonderful. Our lineup this year is incredible. You can go to the website. We'll tell you a little bit more about it. Just some of the voices you'll hear. Of course, the newly minted pastor of New Birth, Pastor Jamal Bryant. Keon Henderson will be with us. Ivy Hilliard's coming. Prophet Daniel Amotang. Mark Sharona will be here. John Hanna will be with us.
Yeah.
We're just going to have an incredible time. We got Ricky Dillard coming back. Delaney will be with us. Kalante Gavin will be with us. John Key will be with us. Hezekiah Walker and Love Fellowship Crusade will be with us, all in the same week, singing within the worship services. That's another unique factor, unique feature of Power of God. So you want to go to the website right now, go to Bethany.com, and while you're watching or listening to us, just look over things and make up your mind that you're going to join us for Power of God 2019, Year of the Open Door. Well, there's a lot going on this week.
Yeah.
As always.
To say the least.
I got a fundamental question. Perhaps it's the wrong question to ask. Perhaps our listeners can help us and our viewers can help us with this. I wonder if the president and the administration's resistance to documents and all the other things that they want to resist. And basically what they're doing is not, they know what they're doing is not legal.
Right.
But they want to slow down the process, perhaps at least get him to the next election cycle in hopes that he'll get reelected and it'll delay the inevitable for another 4 years. They're concerned that some of the statutes will run out, but the New York crimes with the financial thing, there is no statute on those as far as I understand. So that's not going to help him. But with the level of resistance that I'm seeing from the administration, it screams that there's a whole lot to hide.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because why go through all this?
Yeah, if there's nothing to hide.
Yes. Especially when you say, I'm exonerated, I know I didn't do anything, this was a whole witch hunt.
Yeah.
And then you try to stop
everything.
Information coming out.
No, so it's kind of just, they kind of, hid their hand and showed their hand at the same time.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, one of the Fox News people said that the Attorney General basically embarrassed herself, lied, it's made herself look stupid because he releases a letter which explains a report that's going, once it comes out 2 days later, it's going to contradict everything he wrote.
Absolutely.
He said it was just totally stupid on his part to come out with the letter. And you wonder, I say this a lot, who's thinking around there?
Yeah. Obviously, nobody really. Right.
I mean,
unless they're used to getting away with stuff.
Well, that
and at
could
this
be,
point,
but it's
like,
too public.
Yeah.
And then Sarah Sanders comes out and says she wants to be remembered as honest and yeah.
She said that.
Said she wanted honest and transparent.
Who
was she?
Sarah Sanders says she wants to be remembered for that.
I don't think anybody in this administration is going to be remembered as honest and transparent.
I don't know who's looking.
Yeah. I'm just,
How does she even form her mouth to say that?
Yeah.
As my grandmother would say. I didn't get it. Transparent?
Yeah. Part of me always wondered: are they so deceitful that they're okay with lying?
Yes, they
and
are.
just fronting.
Obviously are.
Or do some of them actually believe their own lies and it's truth to them? It's like you've talked to people where it's
Yeah.
a blatant lie, but when you
Yeah.
talk to them, they sound so true.
Yeah, because the island is so small.
Right.
To step off either side would put you into deep water.
Right.
So they have to kind of stay true to that. Because I think initially, when people ask, I have the same problem with Christians. If I ask you a question, that's biblical.
Right.
Don't give me one of those answers that really should say I don't know. Like if I'm going through,
Yeah.
don't tell me just have faith.
Right. Yeah.
Christians will do that. They'll give you a doctrinal answer that will not explain your situation.
Right.
So they won't give you gospel.
Yeah.
They seem to answer from their political points of view and never get around to answering questions. Now, politicians are notorious
Yeah.
for not answering a direct question.
Absolutely.
You know, which I don't get it. If you're so the answers evidently contradict the platform you created when you were running for office.
Yeah.
But don't you I know when one of my politicians that I voted for says something stupid, I don't sit there and say, well, that makes sense. No.
Yeah, no, it was stupid.
It doesn't make sense because you said it.
Right.
So I don't understand why the guys I know that support our president really passionately are not willing to say something's crazy when he says it.
Yeah. I think somebody said something. You keep telling this lie until it becomes the truth. I'm paraphrasing it. I can't remember
Okay.
how it's said. You keep telling this lie until it becomes truth. And eventually over time people start believing that lie is true. So they say what they need to say to get elected. Keep repeating what they need to say to stay elected.
Okay.
Until the individuals that are hearing it believe that's the truth. Especially, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If they're isolating themselves just to that information.
So do they think we're stupid?
I think that they do believe that our president said that he loves the uneducated.
Okay, he did say that.
He did say that.
He did say that.
He loves the uneducated. He loves the unschooled.
I think he just likes people that'll agree with him no matter what. How does he assert executive privilege over a Mueller report? Now, here's my classic example of a team that has no foresight.
Okay.
Do I want the report, or do I want Mueller to finish his job so he's no longer working for the Attorney General so he can be called
Right.
to testify? Or do I want to get out ahead of this stuff?
Yeah.
Because if Mueller gets called to testify,
Yeah.
I think the ball game is so. I think the covers come off
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Because the guy that did the investigation is going to, and everybody believes he's going to tell the truth.
And he's going to say why he didn't prosecute him, but he's not fully exonerated, though.
But he's also the Fox News reporter said that the stuff for the indictments on the financial crimes is in the report,
Yeah.
and the Attorney General just basically lied. He said he lied to cover the stuff up.
Yeah. Because I think somebody in government said, either old Attorney General said that if Trump wasn't president,
He'd be
he'd
indicted.
be in jail.
Yeah,
because
he'd be in jail.
he committed like 27 obstruction of justice crimes or
Yep,
something like that.
yep.
But just within this process.
Yes.
Itself.
Yes,
But because he's president,
which doesn't make sense to me. So you got the guy that's responsible for the country.
yeah.
who basically doesn't have to obey the law while he's in office?
Yes.
That makes no sense to anybody with any sense.
And then will most likely get pardoned after. I mean, look at Nixon. The agreement was you resign.
Yeah.
We'll pardon you.
Yeah.
And you just move on with your life.
Yeah, but those guys were afraid for their jobs.
Yeah.
That's why they got together and said he's got to go.
Yeah.
You know, so
It was a different political era then.
yeah, they were afraid for the jobs. Just like, but these guys don't seem to have sense. They seem to think that their constituency is so uninformed and so uninformable
Yeah.
that they can just do anything they want to do. I think Lindsey Graham just thinks his people are just stupid.
Yeah. And they support him no matter what. Mitch McConnell,
They get poorest state in the country.
with the most welfare needs and all the government.
McConnell state.
Yes. And I brought that up to somebody. I said, they keep talking about welfare as this minority thing, when the states that have the highest welfare rates are in rural America, where they primarily vote Republican.
And there's a connection.
Mhm.
When there are legislating breaks, it's not for the people that are working every day.
Mhm.
I've said it for years. Republican Party tends not to look out for the benefit of working people.
Not at all. Yep.
The hourly people that are working 2 jobs to make ends meet, that's not the friend.
Nope.
They're not the friends of the Republican
Nope.
Party. So why do I keep voting for a party that I think does nothing for me?
That for them, they believe that capitalism is going to give everybody the opportunity to get ahead.
All right, so you wait 60 years for the opportunity.
Right. Yeah, and they really believe.
They need to stop.
They do.
It's a racial vote.
Yeah.
I've said it before. All racial votes, no matter what the race is, are illogical.
Yep.
I'm telling you now.
And you see it when they compare African Americans that play basketball and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they complain about that. But wait a minute, you like capitalism. Capitalism says if somebody's willing to pay $200-300 to watch me work, I should be paid a couple $1 million.
That's right.
Nobody's paying a plumber $200
Nope.
to go watch them
Nope.
fix a snake a drain
Nope.
for 2 hours.
Nope.
So capitalism says you get paid this. If I'm making this company X amount of dollars, I get paid more than you. Plain and simple.
But capitalism also says they need an arena to play in.
Yep.
So let me give you a couple $1 billion tax breaks so you can build the arena. Capitalism says I can buy a team for $800 million, $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 now. Okay, so that's part of capitalism too.
Yeah.
So if you're buying a stadium, you're building it for a couple $1 billion, you're making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, then the people that you're coming to see, the attraction, should get paid.
They should be. And that's capitalism. But they complain, all these millionaires, wait a minute, you like capitalism so much.
Love it.
And the people that work in the arena are making minimum wage.
That's right.
And
All day long.
All day long. They're being mistreated by people
That's right.
that want their stuff quick.
But you keep the wages low so your profit can stay high.
There you go. Y'all love capitalism.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Nah, well, it's true.
I mean, I'm not anti-capitalism.
They don't really like
I'm
it.
just,
They don't. Capitalism is only liked by capitalists who benefit from it.
yeah.
But there's this game, this hustle going on, that people actually do believe the trickle down theory, even though it ain't raining at all.
Yeah.
It's sunny out.
It's sunny, right? Right.
Ain't no trickle down. Told you it was crap down
It's crap
economics. Craps flows down very slowly.
Very slowly.
It's crap down economics. That's what it is. All right. Now, so bars in contempt. Why are they playing this game? Is he ever going to need another job?
Who, Barr?
Yeah.
I think.
Is he ever going to go to his church again?
Well, but again, a lot of those churches support Trump and his people. That's the dilemma.
I think this support of the wrongs in this administration are uncovering something that will not be covered up again.
Yes, I agree.
Now, so Paula White decides she's going to leave the church.
Yeah.
Well, I guess she would. They're down to 200 members.
Yeah, and give it to her son-in-law. Or
Yeah, her
something?
son.
And she's gonna start some other churches up.
She's going to start 2,000
Yes.
2,000 what?
Churches.
2,000 churches?
Did you?
Oh my gosh.
2K.
2K. Yes. Here. And what was crazy?
And she heard the Lord tell her to start 2,000 churches.
Yeah.
2 members each.
Based on what?
You know what's weird though?
They're going to be cyber churches. You watch what I tell
Oh,
you.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure.
They're going to be cyber churches.
sure.
You watch.
The dilemma that I have with her is her value was not in the crowd that she's supporting. For years, they saw her as a prosperity heretic preacher. And now all of a sudden, the group that helped her get to where she is, she's supporting somebody that's completely disenfranchising them. And when Trump's time is over, they probably going to throw her away.
Well, here's the thing. I believe there are several ministers in the body of Christ who built their ministries on the backs of minority people. And I believe from the conversations I've had with them that those, and I'm thinking of two right now, the individual we're talking about and a male that I know that's down in Maryland, who actually resent the fact that their own people are not where they find their value.
Right.
I mean, I got my value over here, but as soon, watch this, as soon as Pastor White was able to get some validation, and it didn't matter how heinous it was, what's really weird to me is that the testimony that she's given for years seems to align more with Donald Trump's type of person.
Yeah.
You know, the whole trailer park thing.
Yeah.
It amazes me that she's gravitated to someone that's so opposite the biblical views that she espoused for a long time.
That's true.
Everything's compromised. But if you look at the way things happen, she's leaving New Destiny now.
Yeah.
It never did what they thought it was going to do. And all of a sudden now, she's going to start all these churches and do some other stuff. And the evangelicals have always thought she was heinous.
Absolutely.
And I believe the only reason they're dealing with her right now is because of the proximity she has with the president.
Absolutely.
But here's my problem. It's the proximity to the president that has caused her to from my point of view, to almost turn her back on the very people that build her ministry.
Absolutely. You ain't lying. You're not lying.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not lying.
And it's, and I'm sorry.
No, you telling the truth.
That's the way it appears from the outside. If there's another view, great, but not that. You're not going to tell me that a guy that says he doesn't need to repent, all of a sudden, from Pentecostal roots, all this nonsense becomes acceptable. Something's wrong with that.
Especially, did you see the clip of Trump this week when he's in Florida, and he was talking about immigrants, and the guy from the crowd said, "Shoot him," and he started laughing. The guy from the crowd just yelled out, "They come over the border, shoot him." He starts laughing, and says a little quip and just keeps going. This is the president of the United States laughing about.
Here's the hair to split. He's the president, but he's not a president.
That's true. That's true.
But he's tapped into a level of ignorance in the country that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because the country that all of us claim to love, the stuff that's happening is divisive.
Absolutely.
And how many more times are we going to see somebody walk into a school, shoot it up, and we call it everything but what it is?
Yeah. A school shooting.
And this one school, this is the fourth time in this city.
I believe, it's in Colorado.
Yeah.
It's around where Columbine was.
It's just how do we normalize this nonsense? And it gets normalized when the leaders of the country are not just out of their minds talking against it.
Right. And the crazy thing, you heard about the 18-year-old boy that the one that got killed at the school.
Yes.
He had a bat in his hand. He went to go out to try to stop the shooter.
Right.
And he's the one that got killed.
Right.
So they're talking about, he went out there to try to sacrifice his life to be able to stop the shooter. No 18-year-old child should have to be valiant in a shooting.
That's right. There's something wrong.
And like he's this great martyr. He shouldn't have to.
They're haloing on the hero act, but they're not talking about the context that he was in.
Right.
It's all wrong.
Yes. I saw a picture of somebody, when they graduate, everybody throws their caps in the air. And they said, when you graduate from high school, and they had the students throwing stuff in the air, they were all bulletproof vests.
stuff.
I was like, it was funny, but it was wrong. But when you think about it,
I got a
literally,
problem.
when you think about it.
Why do kids have? Why doesn't somebody see something wrong with this? Why do children? The last thing I want my grandchildren to be concerned about when they go to school is, are we going to get shot today?
Right. Right.
Why is that so hard to comprehend?
Yeah. Mommy, Daddy, why do I have to put a bulletproof thing in my backpack? Like,
come on. If they start shooting, grab your backpack because we've
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
to resist rounds.
right? Like, what?
You got to teach them duck and cover.
It,
Hold it up in front of your face and your chest.
Right, yeah.
If you get hit in the leg, you'll live. Come on.
no child should have to worry about that.
1-866-743-8267. 1-866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Live on David G. Evans 1 on any smart device around the world. Give us a call, 1-866-743-8267. Now, I need to understand, if you can tell me, how do we indict a president for a blowjob and not indict a president for how do we? Where's that come from?
It comes from that.
I don't get it.
It's the hypocritical.
Hypocritical.
That's
What?
the thing.
What?
The former faith and values community.
Come on.
The former faith and values community.
I don't understand it.
Now they're justifying it because Mike Pence said that if the president can't be faithful to his wife, you can't trust him to lead a country. It's what Pence said years ago.
But he changed his
talking
mind.
about Bill Clinton.
He changed his mind.
Because in their mind, Trump's indiscretions was before he became president.
Would that have been sound logic with our previous president?
No.
Would it have been sound logic for Bush?
No. So
I'm being delivered from cussing, but I feel one coming.
I know.
I'm being delivered.
Okay.
They tried to get Clinton on smoking weed back in college. We got a delay.
I'm being delivered.
We got a delay. We're gonna make a delay.
I'm being delivered from that.
Look, a couple things come through the head.
So they're going to get Clinton for indiscretion.
For lying about that.
This guy's breaking the law. Was Clinton breaking a law?
They said he broke a law because when they asked him about it,
He lied about it.
He lied about it. A sexual indiscretion that had nothing to do with any of us.
So he lied about it.
Yes.
But the president that we have now is lying about 10,000 things
Yes.
so far?
Actually, they said about, as of last week, 1,600. The Washington Post put out every single lie that he told.
16,000.
1,600. I think it was 1,600, they said?
No, it was 10,000 2 weeks ago.
It was?
Yeah,
Oh,
10,000.
I heard wrong. It was 16.
10,000.
They had a whole.
10,000 lies. So it depends on the. Here we go.
Yeah.
Who determines what?
Yep.
It depends on the indiscretion.
Yep.
Who did it?
Yep.
So Clinton gets impeached, and the Republicans were all for it.
And the crazy thing is, most of those Republicans that wanted to impeach Bill Clinton got caught in a sex scandal later.
Unbelievable.
In particular, in a lot of them, it all started coming out years later. One got caught with a guy in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Another guy got caught with a girl. She ended up missing.
Yep.
All this stuff started coming out about these same people that was getting.
1-866-743-8267. This is crazy stuff, man.
This is dog eat dog.
It's worse than dog eat dog. It's something else. Dogs got better rules than this.
That's true.
Now, does anybody believe that Mueller hasn't seen that Mueller has not seen his tax returns?
Well, I'm sure he's probably seen them. I don't know if they're in the report, but I'm sure he's probably seen them.
There's no way he hasn't seen them.
Yeah.
Anybody believe that New York hasn't seen them?
I'm sure they've seen them. Yeah. They just don't want to release them.
Unbelievable. 1-866. What's wrong with y'all? 1-866-743-8267. Now, I had this conversation the other day. I'm not understanding the abortion discussion, and this is why I'm not understanding it. So I'm. Let's go back to when I worked in one of the banks that I worked in, and we're sitting around having a discussion one day, and the discussion was abortion. Okay. I was the Christian in the group, and I did not deny any other women that were in the group the right to make their own decision.
Right.
Because I'm not inflicting my religion on you, but I do have a right to my opinion, like you have a right to yours.
Sure.
Okay. So I asked a question. They were talking about viability of a fetus. I asked one question, and then waited, and that question was, if you didn't have an abortion, what would you have?
Right. It'd be a baby.
So the room got appropriately quiet. The people that were espousing that it wasn't alive, that it wasn't a baby yet,
Right.
shut up. Some of them walked out the room because there was no platform answer for that.
Sure.
Now, the other day, I'm having a conversation. New acquaintance owns this ministry called Options. So we're talking about this abortion issue. Why is it so hard? Somebody tell me what is the difficulty in having a belief, but also understanding I don't have a right to ultimately tell a woman what to do with her body.
Right. I agree with
Why is that
Yeah.
such a hard thing for people to balance?
Yeah.
Now, the point is, why are we having discussions about is it okay to abort a child 6 months into the term inside the mother's womb? To me, the conversation is ridiculous because we shouldn't be having it. Not is it okay to abort up to the time the baby's pushed out. Whose mind doesn't know that that's not an abortion at that point?
Yeah. There's when I was reading about some of this stuff,
Yeah.
you have your ones where people just want a general abortion.
Yeah.
Some of these laws they're putting in place remove even some necessary surgery. So those what are those pregnancies called where they're the
Ectopic.
they're
Okay.
outside the fallopian tube.
Okay.
This abortion bill will deny a woman's ability to get that part out, where because if it bursts, it can kill the mother.
Here's the problem.
The woman will die.
Here's the problem. You got white guys that are old, that are legislating,
Yeah.
that will never be pregnant.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the issue.
Never be pregnant.
Yeah.
Telling you to go ahead and take
Yeah.
the risk.
Yeah, take the risk.
That's silly.
It is silly.
It's silly.
And some of those
That's why there needs to be women in the room to say,
Right.
hold it, man.
Yeah. Yep. Because the Alabama one got postponed because this is a very hard topic. They were trying to put in there that all abortion is illegal, even in the case of rape and incest. Now, we're men.
Right.
I can talk to a woman about it, but I can never truly know what it's like to be raped,
Absolutely.
get pregnant,
Absolutely.
and
And got to decide to carry the rapist child.
Yes.
And then raise the rapist child.
yes, and understand that you got to have a measure of strength. Now, I talked to a guy who was raped. His
Yeah.
mom was raped, and he was born by that.
Okay.
And he talked about the struggle that she had somewhat because every time you see the child, you think about
Reminded of it.
and that takes a lot of strength to hold on to a child, raise it, knowing how
That's conflicted.
that.
For somebody that's honest, that would be conflicted almost every day.
And here's my issue. I asked some of these guys again. We believe in, like you
We
said,
pro-life.
We pro-life. But again, I'm not the one in that situation.
And I don't get to tell you.
Right.
My belief does not have to become law for you.
Right.
That's the way I'm at.
Yep.
Where I'm at with
Yeah.
it. So what I think that what they're legislating, if there have to be protections,
Right.
because people, if you're going to make something illegal, then there's the discussion.
Right.
But at the same time, this is America,
Yeah.
and you can't decide that it's all right for me to take your teenage son, send him to war
Right.
so I can make more money,
Yep. Yeah.
kill him after he's 18 so I can make more money. But you're gonna tell me that I can't make a decision about myself as a woman.
That's right.
No.
Yeah.
So they're pro-life until the child is born,
Yes.
and then until the child is born.
Somebody called it pro-birth.
Yeah.
It's not pro-life. Pro-birth.
Yeah, it's pro-birth.
And here's the thing too. If your daughter came home and said a man raped me, and 6 weeks later you found out she was pregnant, would you be that easily to say, you know what, you better hold on to that baby? What would you think about?
Most people change their points of view when the problem visits
Absolutely.
them personally.
Absolutely.
I know a couple of preachers that were hard as nails until their girls decided they want an alternate lifestyle, until their girls went through not an abortion, but through an abortion. I know one there, or a divorce.
Yep.
All before everybody was totally going to hell.
Yep.
Until it started happening to them. All of a sudden, you got all this. Wait a minute, it's not that bad.
Grace and mercy, and
Because you got to indict your own child.
Yeah.
No, you're not doing it.
This, to me, these issues are complex in certain phases.
They're all complex.
Yeah, and Trump was lying about the whole, the baby being born, and then they kill the baby when it comes out. He's missing. Actually, there's a woman that's a nurse that did a thread on this.
Okay.
Where in those cases where say the child is born with no, half a brain, or
Yeah.
and it's not going to live past a couple hours.
Yeah.
She described the whole experience. The woman's basically birthing a child that she knows about to die, and they go immediate to hospice care.
Right.
There's of course a lot of tears, a lot of praying. You know what I'm saying? So, and she was describing that it's not just this baby comes out, the woman doesn't want a baby, and just okay, let's just kill
But
it.
there's a process.
There's a process, and it's deeper than just
Throwing a child away.
But they make it like, yo, and I'm sure you have. I've talked.
But that's the way you sell it.
Yeah.
That's the way you sell it. So the whole Planned Parenthood thing was ultimately a plan to reduce crime. So you reduce the number of minority people being born, because most of them are in black neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You reduce the number of minority people being born, and somebody thought that if you reduce the number of minority people being born, you impact the crime rate. So that's what Planned Parenthood was all about initially.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure it wasn't just a political decision.
Oh no, because they said, I was reading something that a lot. We know this. A lot of poverty comes from, especially minority community, from young people having kids, and then the cost of raising those kids, and how much daycare costs compared to,
Yep.
I mean, daycare is a mortgage payment now, if not even more.
Look.
I mean, I'm just
Kindergarten,
right. It's
you might as well say is a G a month.
right. Yes. Yeah.
Kindergarten.
Yes. It's a lot of money.
And when I realized the curriculum has not really changed that much. So you're paying for the buildings that they're in.
Absolutely. And then the higher ones that your child's going to learn a lot in, they're up to $2,000 a month.
Who can do it?
And so, I mean, our best is to try to get, try not to get pregnant as much as you can.
So I get the abortion platform of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
I get the platform of the Democratic Party about a right to choose.
Yeah.
I get the Republican Party, it's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
But in this country, no one has a right to inflict their religious belief on another individual.
Absolutely.
So there's the quandary.
Yeah.
So how do you protect life from the womb to the grave?
Absolutely.
And protect choice at the same time?
Yeah.
There's the dilemma.
Yeah.
Because the question can't be answered, they're in two opposite camps.
Yeah. And what's funny? A lot of, again, we believe abstinence until you get married.
That's right.
We believe it. Now the Saints, we do do stuff.
Go ahead.
But what they didn't realize the statistics were when Obama and them put measures in place to help young people get birth control.
Yeah.
The teen birth rates went down when they gave people more access to birth control.
Wow. But some people don't want them to have access to it?
No. They're trying to cut access to birth control.
Here's the problem. here's the problem. The very people legislating it. When I look at a couple of our representatives sitting around a table, sex for those guys is a memory.
Or they need some assistance. I mean,
some of them are unassistable. Those drugs don't work for everybody. You got to have a measure of strength there got to be something for the drug to tap into.
Is your heart healthy? Yes.
So what's wrong?
Something's wrong with this program today.
You're giving the young people a taste of you.
Oh, they're getting to know me today?
Yeah, they getting to know business.
You didn't know your pastor was like this?
No.
Okay. I have to talk to young people out there.
Right.
I gotta be able to talk to
You
them.
gotta be real.
I gotta be able to talk to them. So these guys are dealing with memories and they're mad. So they're like like they forgot that they back seats of cars and
Right,
under
yeah.
the stands back in the they forgot it.
Stuff, right. But it's real though.
They forgot it.
Right. And it's not like married people use birth control too.
No, they don't.
They're like, come on, y'all.
Come on.
I mean, but again, it goes back to like you said, because I believe it. Everybody else has to do exactly what I believe.
And it's ridiculous. Your content is like this. Your neighborhood is not the whole world.
Right.
But people tend to believe that their neighborhood represents the entire world.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't. We might need a break.
What's what?
But you're not lying though.
Look. I've counseled over 50,000 people in the
Yeah.
last 29 years. Mm-hmm. A third of them have been 18 and under.
Mm-hmm.
These preachers that can't talk to folk.
Yeah,
You can't counsel somebody you can't talk to.
absolutely.
And sometimes you got to boil the language down to something they can understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
This ain't crazy. Robin. Robin, how you doing?
Good morning, Bishop, Pastor Nick. Y'all are really cutting up this morning. I tell
It's
you,
Nick and
that's
this
why
crew
I
in
love
here.
you.
They're bad influence on me, girl.
Oh, laughter is good for the soul.
It's
But
these
I'm
young
gonna
people
be
up here. They spirit getting on me.
But Pastor Nick and
I ain't talking about the old heads in the corner.
right.
y'all crazy. But y'all would be so proud of me yesterday. I didn't cuss this passenger out yesterday.
Why didn't you?
Because I wasn't
I'm just messing with you. Go
and
ahead.
the spirit, like, don't you say nothing. The Holy Spirit kept me calm. But before I go into that, I don't know if Pastor Nick heard, this is from Raw's story. A Georgia councilman who came to the defense of the city's mayor after she was accused of racism said that interracial marriage
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
is just not the way a Christian is supposed to live.
Yeah.
Who said that?
A politician in Georgia, used the I know black people are cool in office, but he doesn't believe in interracial relationships. He said it's not the godly Christian thing.
What Bible did he get that out of?
He's misinterpreting the one that he has.
No, he's not reading the one that he has. He ain't misinterpreting a darn thing. He's not reading it. Did he believe in Jesus?
Yeah, but I had a black guy say this to me too. The Bible's against interracial dating. I said when God was talking to Israel about not marrying other races, it had nothing to do with their color.
That's right.
It had everything to do with their religious
right.
Their beliefs.
Because he let Moses marry an Ethiopian woman,
Yes.
and he was cool with it.
The guy.
Yeah. When Miriam and Aaron had an issue with it.
That's right.
Wow, I couldn't believe I read it. But what happened
Moses,
yesterday?
not just any guy.
Yeah, Moses.
Not a mention in the
Wow.
Bible,
Right.
but Moses.
Mm-hmm. And God had to say, I talked to Moses face to face.
That's right.
He said, y'all, I talk to you in dreams.
That's right.
You need an interpreter. He
He
don't.
need none.
That's what he said. That's exactly what God said.
Come on now.
Teach it, y'all. Teach it. Teach the truth. But I want to first say the taping of the Lonnie Hunter variety show was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Gaines, your son Derek, oh my gosh. First time I heard him do a stand-up, he was so funny. But I'm very proud of Lonnie Hunter, and it's just Bethany people. We are just doing it.
I haven't
We
had
are
a chance to
just
see it yet.
Yeah.
doing the thing where you
Yeah.
have to watch it when it comes on Impact Channel
Okay.
in June, he said.
Okay.
So, but yesterday I picked up a passenger, I think it was in Westchester, and you know how the GPS, it may take you the long way, so I always call the person, let them know I'm in a different car for the day because my daughter had the car, and the lady said, well, don't go down the alley, come around the other way, she's sitting on the porch. So I finally got there. She comes in the street cussing at me and saying, I've been out here walking around, I can't walk around, and I got to get to the hospital. So I stayed calm. She was cussing me out. So then I took her the right way, and she said, well, you're going the wrong way. So I'm like, look, this way is going to get you there quicker. Then I
Land the
started
plane,
talking
Rob.
nice to her.
Land the plane.
Yeah.
Land the
All right,
plane.
look. And so I just want to let you know I'm proud of myself. I didn't knock her out. The Holy Spirit would
We're
not
proud
let
of you
me.
too, Robin. I'm glad you didn't
But
come out
he
your face.
reported me to live. because I was in a different car after
That's
she
all right.
cussed me out.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Ain't
so,
stopping
but,
nothing.
Yeah, so I let it out after she got out the car.
Which one?
but
Which one
I
of
just
the
had-
car services went public the other day?
Uber.
They said it was the largest one in history.
I didn't read all of
Lyft
it.
did $1 billion last year, but they went on strike in Philly.
I know.
Some
Yeah,
other
Uber and
states.
Lyft went on strike for
I
a
didn't
day.
understand how they went on how you going strike.
They just
I'm telling
they
you.
just weren't driving. They
They-
took a
they
day off
weren't
and didn't drive
driving?
nobody.
Turn off their apps.
Turn
So
off
what-
the app.
So who they striking against Uber?
Uber, because they're saying that they're full time drivers, but they're not getting any benefits. They're
Did
not
Uber
getting-
respond to that?
They haven't said nothing yet.
They just went public.
They just went public.
The heck with y'all.
Right, capitalism.
Capitalism. There it is.
Yeah.
Uber and Lyft.
Thank you,
It's
Rob.
Uber and Lyft. So, all right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right
Have a
now.
blessed rest of the day. Love you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Jonathan, how you doing, man, from Philly? Jonathan, he's gone.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, there he is. Hey, John.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you,
Hey,
brother.
sir, how are you?
How you feeling this week?
Feeling pretty good today.
Yeah?
Yeah, feeling pretty good today.
Your voice sounds
Talking
strong.
to you, it's sunny outside. But Bishop, you gotta quit mincing words and tell us what you really think.
Right?
I'm trying to be diplomatic, can't you tell?
You just gotta talk plain.
Yeah.
One of the best things you can do is just tell somebody, just tell them the plain truth.
Yep.
That can be so cutting.
And I think we're in a society now where, I don't know if you agree, Jonathan, I think people have gotten so convoluted in their explanations. It almost seems like many people are communicating so they have plausible deniability if they're ever questioned about a thing. So people don't want to they don't want to take a stand on anything, and they're not answering questions. They're not, when did we get all of these synonyms for lying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
if I hear misspoke one more time,
Right. I didn't mean it.
can you see your grandmother saying you misspoke this morning? No. She wouldn't say that.
Yeah, you lied.
You lied. So it's just ridiculous,
Yeah.
man.
Important thing to this week. I like the way you start out the show. Is we want to try to put everything in the context of God's thinking, God's word, what's going on. And to me, the most important thing there this week, I think, is the sanction or the import duties, whatever you call
Tariffs.
them. And the tariffs, and China isn't going to go along. I don't think they're ever going to go along.
I
think
I
they're
can't
gonna
blame
find-
them.
I told a friend of mine, I said, China's just going to start shipping them through other countries.
That's all.
He says, no, I'm in supply chain management. They just can't. It's where they come from and where they go to. They pick the ports and everything. I said, no, you're going to see a lot of things on eBay labeled "Made in Taiwan."
That's right. They're gonna find a way to get it to market, and because we're a capitalist society, people are gonna find a way to carry the goods.
Yeah, but what this has to do with God's word is, in Daniel, it says the leopard with 4 heads and 4 wings, and that is the 4 Oriental countries
Okay.
of North Korea, South Korea, China, and Taiwan.
Okay.
They're going to get together as a nation group, okay, and all work together.
Yeah.
And that's this action this week. What happened is pushing them into that.
I think we're going to force them to come together, even though they may have differences. We're going to
Yeah.
force them to think about their economic welfare and their militaristic welfare. And I think this guy, our president, and the people around him are not strategists. They're reactors, and the tariff ultimately hurts the consumer in the country. That's where it's going to. Automobile prices, air conditioners, refrigerators, shoes. You start naming it, things are going to be impacted. The very people that supported this administration and others who didn't are about to be impacted by these tariffs. And all a tariff is a fancy name for another tax. But here's the deal. The deficit is climbing so fast, they've got to find ways to pay for the cuts.
Yep.
I've been telling people forever, there's no new money. They got to shift money around. So,
Well, and in that regard, I have heard that what they plan to spend these tariffs on was to buy in grain from the farmers and sending it overseas to people who are, needy and starving. And
they ain't gonna do
That's
that.
not
No,
gonna
that's
help
not. That's not gonna help. That's not gonna help the folk here.
Right.
The farmers
Right.
here are
I was
struggling
gonna say,
because of
well,
this thing.
That's a nice idea, and to spend some on that.
This is
but
going to drive some of the
some on
farmers out of business.
Spend some on infrastructure and spend some on reducing the deficit.
The deficit is expanding so quickly. Because here's the thing, you cut revenue, debt increases. You can't pay it.
Yep.
I don't know, John.
Yeah.
All right, man.
So they say the revenues are going up, but have
Yeah.
a great week.
Yeah, you got a couple $1 trillion in debt now that we didn't have a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's still in the black.
But that's
Still-
okay.
Still the red, excuse me.
But that's okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. All right, man. Talk to you.
Okay. Let's.
Tracy from Philly, how you doing?
Good. Hi, Bishop. Hi, Pastor
Hi.
Nick.
You doing all right this morning?
I'm doing great.
Welcome to the program.
I just wanted to make just a couple of comments.
Go ahead.
One, the tactics as far as people keep telling the lies over and over, it's just like what Hitler did.
Yes.
He kept telling the same lies over and over to the point that people start to believe them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the problems there. And, and people nowadays, they don't read, they don't do research for themselves to find out the truth. They rather just say, oh, okay, see this post, and since most of the information they get is from social media, they don't check out the facts. Like you said, there are different sides to a story, and it depends on who's telling the story. Their spin and influence is going to be on that story. So people just don't, seek for knowledge and wisdom nowadays. And the other point I just wanted to make, as far as everyone talking about racial, biracial, I learned back in, it was about 2006 when I was an anthropology major at Eastern, and that there is no scientific proof for race. We're only one race, the human race.
Right.
And it's just with many ethnicities. And if people start to think like that, that we're all human beings, we're all one race, then that would help bring the unity together in between people, and that would be a great help. So I just wanted to share
I agree with
those
you. I said something in Bible study a couple of weeks ago. I believe it was Bible study. It may have been Sunday morning, where there are so many similarities between one human being and another, males and females, ethnicities. There are so many commonalities that we've allowed the few differences to divide us.
Right.
And usually it's the color of your skin.
Right.
But you color your skin. I don't like color your skin, but you do have a head like I have a head. You got a brain like I have a brain. You got a heart like. I mean, there's hundreds of similarities, and we find something to be divided over.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And it's just one color, melanin. It just depends on how much you have.
Yep.
Because from the lightest to the darkest. And I've heard gentlemen say, he has liver spots. He's Caucasian. But he said he wished he had more melanin in his skin, and he wouldn't have to worry about things like skin cancer.
But here's something that I find unique. I've had the privilege of preaching around the world, and I've had the privilege of hearing babies cry around the world.
Right.
They all sound the same.
Yeah. And you can't get blood from a monkey, a dog, or anything else. We can only get blood from each other as human beings.
Even if your color's different.
Yep. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Trace.
The show. Keep doing what you're doing. God
Pray
bless
for us.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Let's go to... Hey, Danny, how you doing, man?
Good morning, Bishop. Good morning, Pastor Nick staff. How you all doing today?
We're doing great, man. How you doing down in Florida?
Well, it's hot and steamy. We should hit the 90s again today.
We got you
But,
fooled today. Pastor Nick has on a jacket, and I don't have one on, so
okay.
you can't quite figure out what's going on up here, can you?
I couldn't figure it out.
He got hot coffee in front of him. I don't, so we threw one at you today. We said, see if we can figure this one out.
Yeah, but I just want to mention something that happened this week here in the state of Florida.
Okay.
Is that the governor, he signed into law a bill and that would permit the school districts to allow the teachers to carry firearms. Now, the way that they did it, that they came all the way from Tallahassee to Miami-Dade County to do this particular signing ceremony, and then they did it at one of the schools that in the predominantly black area to do that.
Really?
And it's just the way that they do things, and neither one of the districts here in South Florida, they said, no, we will not do that.
Wow.
Some of the young black kids because they're trying to do this in Texas too.
Okay.
Some of the young black kids in Texas schools are scared of the teachers having guns.
I would be afraid too.
Because how they respond.
Some of the teachers are whacked.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, come on.
Do my English teacher needs a gun? Here's the thing. Why don't we put in the budget bona fide security if you're that concerned?
Right. There you go.
Why do we need teachers walking around, with weapons?
Yeah.
You don't know the temperament of these people.
Yeah, you don't.
I got a weapon now. My life feels threatened. So Johnny, who's been sitting in number 3 seat in the first row, has been getting on my nerves for 5 years. So
yeah,
I get to do something about him now.
I'll tell you so.
Some nonsense is going to happen.
Yep, it is.
Some nonsense is going to happen. How's my sister doing, man?
Good, Bishop. Good, Bishop. And another thing is that we enjoyed the program that the ladies had presented last week. A lot of competition there. They were on point. They brought out. They had no stops on that.
Where was that?
Women's Day.
Women's Day.
There's no
Women's
competition
Day,
day.
There's no competition for us at all.
Wait a minute.
They just think it is.
Right.
But it really is no competition.
Yeah. It's like letting your little brother win sometimes.
Yeah.
Y'all playing basketball.
But I thought they did a phenomenal
they did great.
job.
Oh, they did great.
Since the men have set the standard, they finally come up to it. It felt spiritual for one of the first times I've heard in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually felt the Lord.
Yeah. And we got with them from the door, right? First song, all the men was clapping.
We right there, weren't
right. It takes them like 20 minutes.
20.
Daddy, don't believe the hype, Daddy.
They don't get with us until the preacher gets up.
That's true.
Great job, ladies. Great job.
Thank you.
I thought they did phenomenally last
They
week.
did good.
So proud of. It's taken them all these years to come up to the standard that we set.
Yes. They had flag dances, what they singing.
Didn't they? Don't
Yeah.
You got all that stuff from us. Praise the Lord.
Right. I'm surprised they didn't copy us like last year when we had the small group, the 4 guys. that sang.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Yeah.
No, they just brought an outside singer in to do most of the leads.
Right.
One minute left.
They just brought out an outside singer in most of the leads. Of course, we can use our own homegrown talent. But I saw an idea though. Mm-hmm. I do have some music connections.
Yeah.
So we could bring a stranger in too.
Sure, we could.
Yeah.
You guys have done that in the past.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, not like you haven't done
Yeah.
it before.
You called yours a guest. You call ours a ringer.
Right.
Watch it, Sister Trump.
Right,
Watch
right.
it. Watch it, Sister Trump.
What an insult.
How much time do we have left?
Danny's still on
Like
the phone.
30 seconds.
Danny, we'll talk to you, man.
Okay, Bishop.
Later now. We got 30 seconds, and Desiree's on the line. Desiree, we're going to have to call you. We have to talk to you next week, okay? I appreciate you calling. Please give us a call first thing next Saturday morning. Now, we got a great week coming.
Yeah.
Pre-Men's Day coming on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
We invite everybody out, males and females, young and old, out to our Pre-Men's Day service on Wednesday at 7:30. We're going to have a phenomenal time. Bishop Samuel Blakes will be with us from New Orleans, Louisiana. We're looking forward to him coming in and spending a couple of days with us. Of course, Mother's Day is tomorrow. We want to say have a blessed Mother's Day to all. For those whose mothers have passed, We want to see you in church tomorrow. I've got a special prayer that God has laid on my heart this year specifically for you. We're going to have an incredible time in the Lord tomorrow, as we need to concentrate not on how Mama passed away, but how Mama lived, what she meant, because the devil wants to get you hung up in the fact that she passed away. Everybody must do that, go through that journey, step through that door, but we want to concentrate on how she lived. Well, this has been a wonderful time once again today. The time has gone away so quickly. Pastor Nick, thanks for joining us.
Thing.
I'm Bishop David J. Evans. Remember this, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you. See you next time on the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. That's On Point, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Saturday. Power of God's coming.
Yes, sir.
Get on board.